is Freedom Media. I'm your host, the Angry American. This story is coming to you from Breitbart News, and it's an exclusive. It says Judge Louie Gohmert backing Judge Roy Moore in Alabama, quoting, "He's absolutely cannot be bought and sold like Luther Strange." Luther Strange, if you don't know, is the candidate that Mitch McConnell is backing. Mitch McConnell has thrown millions of dollars from his PAC behind Luther Strange, trying to get Luther Strange elected. Luther Strange, if you're not familiar, is the person who took Jeff Sessions' seat. He was appointed by the governor down there in Alabama to take Jeff Sessions' seat when Jeff Sessions became Attorney General. Let's go ahead and get into the story. Oh, one other thing too, if you're not familiar with Louie Gohmert, who I didn't know was a former judge, Louie Gohmert is a congressman from the great state of Texas and a very good conservative. And this just goes to show there's a rift on Capitol Hill between the establishment elites and true conservatism. And let's go ahead and get into this. It says Montgomery, Alabama, Representative Louie Gohmert, he's a Republican from Texas, a top conservative and former judge before he was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, is in the House here in Montgomery's RSA Activity Center for the debate between conservative Judge Roy Moore and the establishment-backed Luther Strange for the GOP primary runoff for the U.S. Senate on Thursday evening. The runoff is on Tuesday. It says Thursday evening, but it says the runoff is on Tuesday, September 26th. But Gohmert is here for the only televised debate between Moore and Strange, and Gohmert is supporting Moore. He cannot be bought or sold, Gohmert said of Moore in an exclusive interview with Breitbart News before the debate begins. He absolutely cannot. Gohmert said this election for the people of Alabama offers an opportunity to have a senator who represents them rather than the special interests in Washington, D.C. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, through his affiliated PAC, Senate Leadership Fund, and other establishment organizations like the NRA, that's sad to hear, and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, that's expected, has pumped millions upon millions of dollars into Alabama behind Strange to prop up the lagging candidate's campaign. This is an incredibly important election, Gohmert told Breitbart News. This is going to be the decision as to whether Alabama is represented or Mitch McConnell is represented. Because Luther Strange, if you don't know, is one of Mitch McConnell's lapdogs. That's what's being decided here. McConnell has spent, $12 million or so far. When Breitbart News told him it was around $15 million that the swamp in Washington, D.C. has funneled into Alabama to back Strange, Gohmert was shocked. Oh, is it that high? $15 million? Oh my word. Alabama hasn't spent $15 million on anybody, so it's pretty clear, Gohmert said. The scripture talks about where your money is, there is your heart. We know where the other money is coming from, but we also know that Roy Moore has shown over and over that you may disagree with him, but what he does is what he says. Like Moore, who was previously a Chief Justice on the Alabama Supreme Court, Gohmert is a former judge. Scroll up here. I was a judge, and in fact, I met him. He had come to Texas to speak at an event years ago back when I was a judge, Gohmert told Breitbart News. I had already read about him, heard about him, so I was extremely pleased to meet him. He and I had both made international news and had grievances filed against us. And it was so we had things we could, commiserate about. And by the way, mine were dismissed because they were completely bogus. But anyway, I just have the ultimate respect for the man. Gohmert said that while he understands that President Donald Trump is supporting the other guy, Strange, and is still a huge Trump fan, he thinks Trump is wrong about this one. He added that more will be much better for the Trump agenda in the U.S. Senate than Strange could ever be. And I agree. I think the president is actually wrong on this. I'm a Trump supporter myself. I voted for him in both the California primary and the general election. But I call it like I see it, and I don't think the man is right on everything. I'm not a Trump sycophant and just follow blindly like a lemming off the cliff. I'm a huge Trump fan, Gohmert said. I'm not kidding. I literally thank God Donald Trump got elected, and thank God he's there. So do I. Just the thought of Hillary Clinton in as president give me shivers. I digress. But he's a human, and just as he went out and endorsed John McCain, thinking that would reap benefits down the road, I think the people of Alabama are going to know who would best help Donald Trump. And they know. It sure sounds like they know. That will be Roy Moore. He will be the biggest help that Donald Trump and the people of Alabama could hope for. When asked directly if Moore is better for the Trump agenda than Strange, Gohmert said clearly, yes. The reason why, he said, is because Moore cannot be bought off like Strange. That says a lot right there about a man's character. The thing I know about Roy Moore is if Mitch McConnell has spent $15 million to get Roy Moore elected, it wouldn't have affected him and his conscience, Gohmert said. That's a big difference. He would still be standing just as firmly on the same convictions as he has. Gohmert predicted that Moore will be successful on Tuesday because he has defeated establishment-backed forces before. In fact, back in the 2000s, establishment consultant Karl Rove tried to come into Alabama with big money to topple Moore in his race for the Alabama Supreme Court, but Rove failed. And Moore succeeded with little to no money. Sounds like Donald Trump against Hillary. This go around, the vehemently anti-Trump Rove has sent his ex-chief of staff, Kristen Davidson, to work for the Strange campaign, something the president considers an insult per multiple White House aides. Davidson is overtly anti-Trump, but not only that, Rove's partner, Stephen Law, is running the McConnell-affiliated Senate Leadership Fund. Gohmert, however, told Breitbart News he thinks the people of Alabama will again reject the failed worldview of Rove and support the conservative Moore against it once more. And I hope so. That is another indication of what will be best for the country, Gohmert told Breitbart News. When you see Karl Rove come down to Alabama, you vote for the person, and it's a good bet you probably ought to vote for the other person. And I fully agree with that. Congressman Gohmert is absolutely correct. A vote for Luther Strange is a vote for the Washington, D.C. swamp. Judge Roy Moore is a very decent man who cannot be bought off by the special interest groups who own Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell lock, stock, and barrel. Mitch McConnell is the worst, absolute worst Senate Majority Leader that I have seen in my lifetime. He is absolutely against this president. is absolutely against getting anything that this president wants to pass through the Senate. They have, for repeal and replace of Obamacare, they promised for 7 years that they were going to repeal and replace. Have they done that? No, they haven't. Mitch McConnell has been taking a play out of Barack Obama's playbook, I would say, which is leading from behind. Mitch McConnell is horrible. He is so bought and paid for, and anybody that Mitch McConnell is backing, especially with $15 million to try to defeat any incumbents, you know, there's something wrong with that picture. And that man needs to be investigated. He needs to be investigated for the corruption that he absolutely is in favor of. Here's an image of Luther Strange from a campaign ad against him by pro-Trump supporters. I'll leave you the link in the description from the Breitbart article that I pulled it from, so you can read that article for yourself to learn a little bit more about old Luther Strange here. But this should tell you a lot. You know, he is part of the DC swamp. He is bought and paid for by Mitch McConnell. And like I said earlier, he is Mitch McConnell's lapdog. And there are quite enough of those in Washington right now. Do we really need another one? Let me know what you think in the comments. I've heard from the Lou Dobbs show that at this time, Judge Roy Moore is leading Luther Strange by 8 points in the special election down in Alabama. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I really appreciate your comments. They help me out quite a lot because I like to know if I'm doing a good job, let me know. If I'm doing a bad job, let me know. And if I need improvement, let me know. I really appreciate your viewership. You guys are why I do what I do. I don't get paid for these videos. I just do it because I want to be a voice for the right reason out there. So please comment, like, and share. Thank you for your viewership. Thank you for watching my video. God bless you guys and have a blessed evening. Good night.